Happy day, happy morning. Uh,
Good morning.
you're listening to a Happy Breath Hour. Our intention is for you to learn and practice how the breath can guide you to wake up, let go, and take charge of your life in your business and your success in life, business, sports, and beyond. I'm your host, Roberto Suarez, El Happy Coach. But before we introduce our guests today and get started, we're going to take a sigh of relief just for all of us to get centered. And we do that by just like a sigh of relief. We're going to inhale through the nose and then let it go through the mouth. We'll do that a few times. So here we go. Ready? Inhale. Then let it go through the mouth. Inhale. Relax your shoulders. Let it go. A couple more times. Inhale. Let it go. And last time, nice and deep. Okay, let it go. So our guest today is Brad, better known as Eternal Cryptoptimist. And I'm just going to introduce him as, showing his vision. His vision is we rise by lifting others. And the topic for today is creating a life that you love with breath and crypto. So welcome, Brad.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
So to get this started, right? Why don't you tell a little bit of your background? How do you get into crypto? I know that you're like a big player in what I guess the whole ROI dip area, and you've done very well. And for our viewers to get a sense of what you've been through and how do you play this game? So I know that you're also a big part of supporting and helping ArkFI, which we're both. That's where I met you, and and I respect and value what you've done and what you're doing, to support others. So perhaps you can, because most of my listeners, they're into like more the spiritual, more uh, supporting others through the breath, right? But I always think that we're always looking for ways. Okay, so some of us are looking for ways how to use breath work as a way to support other, but also try to make it like enough where you make enough money to survive. So there's different options how you can play both games and in a way that everybody wins and we're lifting others up through cash. I would call it cash flow or passive income, and and also the breath and connecting to ourselves and helping other people. So let's get started.
All right. Well, so I got in crypto a little over 3 years ago, to the
Uh-huh.
best of my knowledge. I just started trading, day trading. One of my friends at work was, or my partner at work was trading, and so I went through that on Robinhood. And yeah, as far as it being spiritual, it was definitely added a lot of stress and anxiety to my life, and the highs and lows of chasing it and looking at my phone all the time, looking at the charts and losing money. Being underwater was my most common thing. They call it in trading, and then having to wait, But
Yeah, yeah.
I needed to go through that stress. But then I heard about ROI DApps, and I got into Bankroll Flow and Antron, and I wasn't a team builder or anything like that, but I like the idea of getting passive income every day and
Mm-hmm.
getting away from the checking charts all the time, and learned a lot, good and bad through that project. And I was able to learn how to network with people and incentivize people to join in. I offered, matching bonuses, and I incentivized YouTube influencers by giving them tokens to try it out, which is my strategy in ArkFI still. And I used it through Drip as well. And things got really there was a lot of abundance to start with flow. And then when things started falling apart, it happened fast. And a lot of different things happened, including them increasing the gas fees. It kind of wrecked all my smaller players. But back then is when I realized that these ROI dApps, they benefit people that are generous. They're made for doing airdrops. When I airdrop to the people below me, the rewards trickle back up to me. It's not a degen play. It's more of a we rise by lifting others, because we're lifting our team, and our team is giving us rewards in the long run. I was able to start a lot of people, sponsor people, we'll say, and I had moderators in my Telegram helping me out, and some of them are with me still. And I don't know, I just was able to get a lot of people started, and then that fell apart, and Drip was great, and I got in early, didn't know what it was, and just being able to build a team and being able to have people follow me because I was a good team leader. People liked what I was doing. That helped me grow my team, and that's just kind of reinforced that when we help other people, it comes back to us. People look for good team leaders. In Drip, like my team leader promised airdrops, and if I had my big team join under him, and then he didn't do it. So in this space, integrity follows you. And just as well as spirituality in the world, if you're putting out good usually comes back to you. Shit happens, but if bad things happen, you're better able to handle it.
Yeah.
Every mindful breath is a good way to get through that.
Yeah.
But that all prepared me for ArkFI. So life is a lot more spiritual now. I don't have to look at the chart. Sorry, what were you
Absolutely.
saying?
Let me ask you, how many? What's your team size? Like, just to have an idea, like when you're talking about team, do you have 200 people below you, 500 people? Like,
In flow, I think I got above 1,000, and that was
wow.
amazing. And
Mhm.
in Drip, I have still have a team wallet with 23,000 people on it,
Whoa.
just almost to 24. And in ArkFi, I have like 270 under me, but I was grateful that we were able to realign our wallets to begin with, because I was able to stack my wallets, and
Hmm.
I was going to buy a nice new Corvette, and I decided to invest it in ArkFi, and it allowed me to get the NFTs and the bonds I needed to stack 13 high. And
Uh-huh.
the way it's set up, when you look at your syndicate, it's not really a view of your whole syndicate. It's actually a view, like an analytics tool that tells you how many people you're able to get referral bonuses from. So my top wallet says I only have like 210 people. A few down, I have all of my the team. Like I incentivize YouTubers and have friends that are YouTubers,
Hmm.
like Crypto Unlimited 22.
Yeah.
And Johnny's got a team that's 13 deep. So to pick up everybody below me, I have to be like 5 wallets deep in my team, and I've got like 270 people. So it's not my whole syndicate, but it's all the people I can get referral bonuses from.
Wow. That's unbelievable. Like, so and so you retired and you're now just supporting and playing this game, right?
Yeah, yeah. With Drip, I was able to retire January 1st last year when I was 49, and now I, still play that game, still play the Furio game, and ArkFi has been my focus. And yeah, I have a bunch of good team builders under me that are building teams. I'm making money breathing right
Wow. That that's a like this world. At least me personally, I used to be in the corporate world, just chasing money, trying to build companies, and then being able to, like being building value and then being able to sell it, and but and I always something always happened that I created that the outcome that I wanted didn't happen. Because I had so
now.
much resistance. So, and I wasn't open to other people, giving me, like when people try to help me, my limiting belief I'm not good enough was really strong, but I wasn't aware of it. So I always noticed it, that it was like like they were criticizing me or making me wrong. So I didn't take some advices that sometimes I made a bad choice. And I'm new into like the crypto world, right? I got into the crypto world about 2 years ago. Somebody said, look, just buy some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, some Avalanche, something else, right? Just a little bit, and just watch it, just so you could see the ups and downs and all that. But nobody ever talked to me about ROIs. I've been involved, or people try to have gotten me, like in the past, Amway and all these, multi-level companies, and 40 years ago, I actually could have gotten into and played with some of the top guys in Amway when they were just getting started, you know, but
Mm.
I got hired and I started getting paid $100,000 to run like a communication company and all that. So I say, I don't want to do, you know, multi-level. At the time, it was called multi-level. So,
Mhm.
so it's interesting when Atlas called me, right? And because we've been friends for a while, and I helped him in the past, when he was starting different companies, through the share vision process that I do. And he told me, hey, are you ready to live a safer, more fun, like, and bringing abundance into your life? And I go, sure. And so he got me into the Ark, and it's been
Mm.
like just letting go of what it could be, right? And luckily, I had made that little investment in crypto that got me kind of involved, looking, noticing the problems and all that kind of stuff, but also learning, a little bit here and a little bit there. That it opened me up to be able to look at Ark, and when he was, but still, like, I hated metaverse. I have to do this, and then if this happens, somebody's going to get in. I need to get a ledger. By the way, I got my ledger. Now I need somebody to teach me how to use a ledger,
Oh,
right?
nice.
Yeah, right. And all of a sudden, I'm not like, I can't believe this. How you can make money with all that I know, or I thought I knew, right? And then being in the community and listening, and then being able to hear, stuff like, how have you been creating, and others, and I'm sitting there and I go, this is unbelievable. What a community, like, people supporting each other for everybody to be able to win. It was like, to me, it's like such a powerful thing. And 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 now my question to you is, like, I have already about 20 or 30 people that either saying, hey, that sounds interesting, but nobody makes they all, they're interested when they're hearing it, but then they kind of step back and they have a hard time, like, committing, right? So,
Mhm.
what's your advice, right? Like, to people that are out there that never played this game, or that, like, they're listening to all the negative stuff that is happening in crypto, uh, and I know that it's all about me. The more like, now I can show,
Mhm.
how much money I'm making, right? And the more that happens, and the more I create, the more people will listen, because they're seeing what's happening to me, right? Uh, I'm having more conversations, and people go, "Oh, really?" And now they want to find out more. So I kind of, but you've been around for a while, so perhaps you can give us, what's the first step? What would you tell a 21-year-old or 35-year-old that is, like he's playing his game and doing well, but at the same time, they still are, like there's a uncertainty of what's going to happen next, with all the stuff that's happening in the world today.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so it's ironic. I'll tell you a little story. So I was working two jobs when I started in crypto, and
Uh-huh.
my coworkers at my engineering job, like they would always laugh, and they'll be like, "Hey, Brad, how's Bitcoin?" And write little jokes on my board. Let me tell you about my Lord and Savior, Bitcoin, stuff like that. And they laughed at me.
Yeah.
And so then I retired, and they're still working there. So, long story shorter, my ex-boss is one of my friends now, and he's invested in ARK and he's in Drip.
Mhm.
And
Uh-huh.
the old office manager, her husband is in Drip and ARK. You know, it's hard to sell something to somebody because it's a whole different mindset, and
Mhm.
all of the stigma around crypto. But
Mhm.
I don't know, the spiritual aspect of it, like when you try to force things, they don't work out well.
Yeah.
Um, Now I'm living the ARK life, right? Living the Drip life, and people come to me. I don't try to build teams. I have teams, but I just focus on what I'm doing, and like I love planning. I love the strategy. Even now with the being a bigger player, like the strategies are like max wallet and what's going to happen and what I'm doing after that, and how I'm stacking my wallets now, and incentivizing YouTube influencers and all of that stuff. It's more about showing like this is what I'm doing by example. I have a cousin that
Mhm.
wants to invest because he sees that I've been traveling, and Crypto Unlimited 22 is one of my friends. They are my friends in New York, and
Yeah.
they do a crypto meetup. And so I support them. They're on my team also. And I
Mhm.
started them in Drip last January. And they've just taken off and done their own thing, and made their
Mhm.
mistakes and had their successes, And but I get to, I post stuff like that on Facebook, like we're getting together. If I go to dinner with somebody, when I'm in Florida and I go to dinner with you, it'll be like, hey, this is Coach Roberta. But
Yeah.
people see I'm enjoying my life. A lot of people won't ask or care, and half the people will ask and say, "Hey, if I give you money, will you make it into $1 million?" And I have relatives and stuff that have done that for me or to me, and everybody's got to want it. So anybody that comes to me and asks about crypto, I tell them to read Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, and
Mhm.
talk to me then if they got enough motivation to read it, then they'll start understanding what it's like to think about your money making money for you instead of you working to make money to pay bills. And
Yeah.
then I'll talk to them.
Wow. Yeah. So you're, you know, you're like, like I practice Tai Chi for like now for about 20 years. In China, like if you want to go to a teacher, like a super teacher,
Hmm.
and they're in the park, you might have to go there and just sit and watch for a year before they let you in to see what kind of commitment, right?
Right, right,
You have to shift your way of being, if you're really gonna, play that game. So that's
right, right,
basically what you were doing. And yeah, and that's and I get that. That's why, because the question is not so much what other people, it's like who am I being, right?
hmm,
That those people are not coming in. You follow me? So like
right,
having this conversation with you, I just get it. Like, you stayed with it, you played the game, you went through whatever, and then all of a sudden you had the success, and it just comes to you. And it's not about chasing, it's about being, right? And then taking certain actions, and then people will start, coming to you. and that's happening a little bit. It's like I already had like, I got 6 brothers and 5 sisters, and in my family, most of them think I'm crazy because, I started getting into this breath work and I wasn't making, the money and stuff like that. So I've lived in a trailer. Like, and my mother's going, oh, you should be a CEO of a big company making a lot of money and blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
But, I've had 2 now that basically have said, hey, I'm really interested in that, and one of them is very successful, uh, as a bakery, that for about 35 years, and his kids are running and it's doing real well, and he goes, oh, let me tell my kid, he does a little crypto and all that, maybe, I like it. I can't believe that's true, but like, let's look at it. So,
Mm.
so at least they're listening, and I can see that the more and the way I'm saying this is because hopefully the people listening to us, right, they never play. It's like it, 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 it isn't like an opportunity, and especially when you don't have to take all your money. All you have to do is take a little bit of money and play with it and see what happens, and then you can build on it, and the opportunity is there to to have a life that you really want without stress. And there's always still a risk that something could happen, but like you're saying now, right? That you went through different ventures, and now you're still playing 2 of them or 3 of them, and and who knows what the future looks like. But for me right now, it looks better than it did 3 months ago.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's about diversifying, too. And I'll tell you, when I started, um, it changed. Like crypto was spiritual for me in that I learned about what I didn't want in it with the stress and anxiety, and it moved me towards ROI dApps and scammers and rug pulls, and that kind of got me funneled into a group of people that didn't want that anymore, and a whale team that I have that
Mm-hmm.
is all they're in the same on the same wavelength as me, and so I got to where I wanted to change. I didn't want to work. I wanted to retire 3 years
Mm-hmm.
ago, and so I changed. Like my mindset went from buying a cup of coffee at Starbucks to wow, that's like 5 drip, I can buy
Yeah,
crypto with us, right? And I
yeah.
don't need to buy all this fancy shit. I'm going to live within my means, and everything above that, my bills and stuff, I invested in crypto. And I got wrecked the first year. I got wrecked. All that money that I invested didn't work out. I bought in a bunch of blue chips and I lost money because I didn't
Mm-hmm.
lose money. I sold it, and now those have all 20 to 100x.
Yeah,
I sold them early because I was excited and I wasn't a trader,
yeah.
but that everything is headed towards the light for me, because I learned to change my lifestyle to live within my means. So I learned to handle money as I gained it. I learned to invest money. I learned to diversify, and I learned to stay around good people. Like I'm not investing in a bunch of. I hear about new projects every day,
I can
and
imagine.
I'm not jumping into everything like I was before. Like now I consider projects or tokens like they're expensive lottery tickets, So, but
Mm.
the cool thing about it is I can do some research and I can either know the devs or take the risk knowing, hey, it's a leprechaun or, this guy's got no real name. I can't see his face, but that's why I like, there's still anonymity with Atlas and stuff, but
Yeah.
with that team, I was excited just because they had done another project. They, even though it went through the bear market and had issues, they stuck with it, and I got to, in my team, I have a team that would follow me, so it was like, yeah, I'm going to get into this and try it out, so I hedge my bets now. It's more educated, and I definitely do more research nowadays than just jumping into things, but it's definitely more spiritual.
Yeah. So So do you still have anxiety? How did you get off? How did you get off your anxiety and all that? Did you do any spiritual work, or did you do any breath work, or did you, you know, how did you start physically, feeling better? And I know
Yeah, well,
you.
it's kind of. Oh, sorry.
No, no, go ahead.
No, it's so I've been in recovery from alcohol and drugs for years. Last Thursday
Okay,
was 8 years for me, and
okay.
I learned about.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. I learned about meditation and in counseling, and so I started doing that, and didn't stick. I couldn't do it. I kept, I wasn't consistent. Like everything, like you only get out of it what you put into it. Working out. If you don't keep working out, you don't get, the
Yeah,
benefits.
yeah.
So uh, it became a routine for me. Just like right now, crypto is my morning routine. Coffee, crypto, baroque, classical, or whatever music I listen to in the background. Um, but and it's also balance. Like I can focus on ARK all day because I'm so excited about it. If I let myself, I go out for a walk. You know, um, I'm
Hmm.
retired, but I started at working a job. Helping people that were like me
Hmm.
with my girlfriend. So it's
Hmm.
all about keeping balance now to keep my mental well-being. And I definitely get excited. When I open it up in the morning, and my wallets are big enough to where I can allocate multiple times a day. So I have it on my phone and I can do that. But most of it for me is it's my job to keep busy in between crypto, like in between every morning so that I'm not focused on it. And I don't pay attention to the markets. That's a beautiful thing about ARK.
Hmm.
Aside from some like Arbitrum and like Crowcoin, crypto.com, stuff like that I'm invested in on the side,
Hmm.
but most of the day I just like I said before, like I make money breathing, so it's just important to breathe.
Absolutely. Like everybody says, "Oh, I breathe. I'm alive." And I tell people, "Well, how are you breathing? Do you have the slightest idea how you're breathing?" So it's like really being conscious about your breath. You know,
No
and
doubt.
the breath.
Monday I listened to your fire breath thing, and I was doing it when I was driving, and I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
that's definitely different, because I learned about breath awareness to start with, and it
Yeah.
didn't work. And then I heard about counting at the top of your breath, and my attention span wasn't there. And then in a
Mm-hmm.
12-step meeting, a Buddhist monk came in and he talked about counting at the top and the bottom of your breath, and that's when it
Mm-hmm.
clicked for me. And then my mindset changed to like every mindful breath I take is a step out of my ego. So it became more of a, oh, I should do this. Like when I'm driving, I'll think of it, or during the day, I'll think about it. And now more often when I am getting anxious, I'll think about it. So it triggers me to actually use the breath awareness, or to take some mindful breaths to get recentered.
Wow, powerful. That's I listen. Just your commitment to you know to to heal yourself, and being able to have success of what you've done. That's like it's thumbs up.
Another cool thing about crypto is I've been able to, after the like last year, I started meeting members of my team and
Hmm.
going to like running verbos and having some of my whale team come out. And like we
Hmm.
did Las Vegas and Salem, Massachusetts for Halloween. And,
Hmm.
I've been to Florida. I got a place in Florida. So I've, been up there to some conferences and stuff. And,
Hmm.
because of crypto, like I've been able to actually see the people that have all these weird names on Telegram and have dinner with them.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that. Looking forward to
Yeah, like,
meeting you, Florida realtor too. I'm going to be out there, and Pops and Carla, a couple of my people are out there, and Mike, and there's a lot of people in Florida.
yeah, yeah. Well, Florida's always been like an entrepreneur state. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and there's no taxes, is why I
Yeah,
went
yeah.
there originally. My primary residence is there now, so.
But
But
where you originally from?
I'm in upstate New York.
Oh, okay.
Just a little
Uh,
snow right now.
you had snow? Oh my God.
Yeah, I had an exit plan. I was like, I got a place in Fort Myers, and Then I decided I was going to stay out there and be a snowbird, and kept this place and got a place in West Palm Beach. And then I ran into a girl here. So my heart's warm here, and my place is looking nice in Florida.
So you had no problem with the hurricane in Fort Myers? That,
Actually, I did, but I
yeah,
lost a rental car there that I had to buy back because of my ignorance. I was driving and I kept seeing flooded roads, and I kept driving and ended
yeah.
up getting it flooded out, and it was like 20 or $19,000 I had to pay for it, but didn't mess up my condo though. So I just
No?
lost power. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah,
got
that
lucky. A
was,
lot of places got destroyed.
oh yeah. I have, I've heard horror stories, like Sanibel Island and that whole area. It's like unbelievable, in Fort
Yeah.
Myers too. Yeah. So 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 anyway, I love that you've done all that breath work and how you were able to tap in what works for you, you know? And what I keep hearing from you are like the three skills for transformation, which are the three skills for the breath work. The first one being aware, is the awareness factor, the conscious factor, becoming conscious. Like you become conscious really quick, of what's going on, and then by being conscious, you can now relax into whatever intensity is showing up. And what we say in the breath world is that you can, through the exhale, you can let it go, right? But you have to relax, which is a second factor. And the third factor is conscious breathing, which is taking charge of the breath and breathe in a certain way that can support you to release, if it's anxiety, or if it's pain. So it's awareness, relaxation, and conscious breathing, and integrating those three. But like you say, it takes practice. It's like you can't just hear it, right? It's like you can't hear about ArkFI. First, you have to become aware so you can listen to it, right? And then you have to relax, and you have to learn, and then you have to take some action, and then you have to play with it. And the more you play, the more you can, so it kind of works in everything that you do. So that's how I kind of like support people, with the breath in anything that they're doing. But it's to really become aware of that there's a lot, there's if you're aware and conscious, right? And you can relax, so you can let go, your life will be totally different, you
Yeah.
know?
When I was working, I kind of like I used to, I'm a workaholic too, so I would
Yeah.
work through breaks, and I'd be stressed, and the weight of the world would
Mm-hmm.
be on my shoulders. I got to get
Mm-hmm.
this done. You're always got a pile that's too big for you, but you got to plow through it. And
Yeah.
but I realized that I could take walks in between, and
Mm-hmm.
then I would get more clarity. So I take walks for every break, and then that Buddhist monk thing I learned about. His example was it's okay to meditate in a controlled environment, but that's not life. Meditate
Ah.
meditate on the subway, and so I would meditate with my headphones on, even listening to music, and
Mm-hmm.
walking, and that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from when I'm not like tied up in this staring at the screen, worried about this and that. I know I have responsibilities, but now I
Mm-hmm.
take care of things ahead of time, and I'm able to see like where things are going. When you're about to make a mistake, but
Yeah.
if I don't take time to go for my walks and I just focus on the screen and start getting all excited about what's going to happen, what I'm going to do with all this money and all that, I'm going to start making mistakes. That breath and the going for walks. I get traveling, just getting a step back. Spending time with my girlfriend and her kids. Like all these
Mm-hmm.
different things that are in my balance, like definitely help me get a perspective that's not just like I'm in crypto 24/7. If you do that,
Yeah.
it's unhealthy and you're
Yeah.
asking for trouble. You're going to get wrecked and get depressed. People commit suicide over stuff like that, make bad
Absolutely.
decisions. So a lot of
Yeah.
people, even with like Drip, for example, people retired, and then they had to go back to work. Some of my people in my whale group also like retired, not just through crypto, and then we're like, oh, we're going to supplement our income now to make sure we're going to be okay. But
Mhm.
for me, for whatever reason, I was like, well, I need to have a year's salary set aside, need to have all my bills paid off. I need to have backup,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm grateful because I did not see. I got in crypto at the bottom of the bear market last time, and then this time now ARK is there. Drip was there when I started at the bottom of the bear market. Now we're positioned like that with ARK, and it's I'm grateful that I was able to go through it like that. And now that I've survived, now I'm still able to, I can live an inspired existence, and I can still live day to day on crypto. I'm definitely blessed like that.
Wow. What what a story. And and it's so cool of what you're saying, that meditation, like the real meditation, it's really life itself.
Mm.
If you can be conscious minute to minute. So when you're walking, so when I walk, I walk too, like I replaced my knees about 3 years ago. So I
Mm.
can't run anymore. So I walk, right? So when I walk, I do breathing. I get conscious. I do different breath techniques when I'm walking. It's not like I all the time I stop and I have an hour for breathing. Or even sometimes I do that. But like when I'm doing my coffee in the morning, I'm doing my 20 breath technique. Like before I get on the thing, I do like a 20 breath technique to clear myself so I can be present. So the more I do that, the more present I get. So you're doing the same thing, like you're going out to walk, and that's like your meditation. Because people say meditation, like I tell, listen, you're probably doing meditation and you don't even know you're doing meditation. Meditation is just giving attention to
Hmm.
something. So even if you're doing crypto, you're putting attention on what's going on the charts and stuff like that. If you do it consciously, it becomes a meditation, because you're giving attention and then time just flies by. You get it? It's the challenge
Yeah.
is that we're unconscious. So how do we become? We think we're conscious, you know, but most of us are asleep. Because we're either thinking of the past or the future. We're not totally like present. Like right now, I'm very
Hmm.
present to what you're saying, and being with you, and being in this conversation. You know, I'm not, I'm not thinking. My mind can go, wow, I want to be like Brad, man. I want to have 25,000 people. My mind can go, wow, how much money is that coming in?
Right, right.
And, and how can I, instead of just being here and being satisfied, just being here and being able to have a conversation with you, and appreciate you, taking the time to having this conversation, because so my intention is for people that are in the breath world, right? That might not have the financial security that they are searching for, right? That this could be an opportunity for them, and listening to somebody like your story and what you've been able to do, right? Maybe in, what do you call it? Incentivize, right? Or
Incentivizing.
inspire,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
inspired somebody to, you know, just to have a conversation, maybe step into it and try it. And you only need like $75 to get going.
All right. Right.
You know, you don't have to have 20,000, or even though 20,000 is the most you can invest. Like in one wallet. But that's all you need. That's a cool thing about it. If you don't have a lot of money, you can get going and play with it and start it. So I really appreciate your commitment, what, how you've been able to shift your life through being more aware by, taking it on when most people won't, and and uh, and being able to live a life where that you are inspiring all the people, right, through being an example. That's so powerful. And I'm blessed that Atlas called me, right? And I've been able to play this game. I call it, play. It's instead of work. Like, I used to call. I didn't want to call it breath work. I always wanted to call it breath play. But I always say, when you look at breath play in Google, it has another connotation.
I
some,
imagine.
some people want to play that game, but that's okay. Okay. Uh, but it's cool. Is there anything else that you want to say, or that that somebody, that you're starting? Is there any tip? Is there a tip, or something that you tell people, or that haven't got started? What's a tip that you can give people?
Yeah,
One
so
tip.
first, I just wanted to say, like we're all surrounded by abundance, and for me, like I can look at my story up till now, and I
Mm-hmm.
can see the real examples of um, how I was surrounded by it, but I was greedy, and I was in the mindset of screw the next guy. This is crypto. I got to get mine,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna do what I got to do to get mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing anything extra, and just being entitled and expectations and all that, to
Mm-hmm.
where you just realize that it's the opposite. Like a lot of the laws of the universe are like, to get what you want, it's the opposite of what you would think. So in order to get something, I give something, right? People don't
Mm-hmm.
normally give, right? So helping people out in Telegram, like I was a administrator in the drip Telegram to begin with, and
Mm-hmm.
I help people, and I took time to answer questions. And I see the same thing happening in ARK, where people are taking time, they're talking. It's not just about, like, they're talking about life and other things, and the golfing and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's not just like, it's not all about business. It's about living, enjoying, thriving together, working together and helping each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned there, like, that was like the point where it's like, well, I'm helping these people, and all these people are, asking to join my team. I'm
Yeah.
starting people in a project, and now they're getting their friends to come in. They're coming and asking questions. But
Mm-hmm.
we get what we give. So I learned that in here. Anybody that's starting, I mean, it is intimidating to try to learn something. This is a different language. It's something you never learn about finances in school, really. And
Mm-hmm.
crypto is a different beast. COVID was a blessing for me because I got to have extra time, and also I got to realize that, am I a victim or not? So I decided, not what I'm losing, but what am I gaining? I had time, so that's how I taught myself about crypto. Hundreds of hours of YouTube videos, the Robert Kiyosaki, and reading all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody that was just getting in, I always recommend that book. Just to try to change the mindset into investing in general, because we don't
Mm-hmm.
know about it. Everybody thinks they're going to make 0.1% a year in savings and be rich or something. um, you know so crypto is definitely a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I also like recommend to people, don't invest more than you can lose. And that's come to bite me, because I have a couple people with resentments that didn't hang out through even like the flow and then drip,
Mm-hmm.
that they would be in a position similar to me if they had held with it. So
Mm-hmm.
my advice would be, like, stick with it, and you're going to fail before you succeed. The school of crypto can be very expensive. I feel like the people that are getting in ARC right now are blessed because they're starting with a good team, a solid contract, and a roadmap that's going to unfold. It's like a way better than when I started in the Wild West 3 years ago and got rug pulled every other day. losing thousands of dollars. You know, and stick with the good people. You know, I love that all aboard session.
Yes.
You get to hear all these different styles and see these different people. Pick a YouTuber you like and get in their channel. You know, start learning. And you know, just I changed my lifestyle. Don't buy stupid shit. You know,
Yeah.
if I want to have a better life, I'm going to invest money in that. My money making money for me instead of me drinking a cup of coffee and pissing it out. You know, it's
Yeah.
I can make
Yeah.
my own coffee. You know, so but that's
Absolutely.
about it. Yeah, do your own research.
That hey, you just got the golden nugget right there, you know, like listen to Eternal Cryptoptimist. I can't even say a crypto
Nobody
optimist.
can. So it's Cryptoptimist because I'm
Cryptoptimist.
eternally optimistic about crypto. So I came up with that. But yeah, nobody says it. Everybody just says eternal. So
Yeah.
no
It,
worries.
well, it's so if somebody want to get a hold of you, not a hold of you, but at least listen to you or learn more, you know, it's where can they go? Like, do you in
Hmm.
Telegram or do you have a website or do you have, you know, like if somebody wanted
Um,
to get into.
so pretty much Crypto Unlimited they're
Mhm.
the second generation of me. Like they're the
Okay.
people that I mentored that you know built their own trend. And when people ask me about crypto, I send them to them because they're
Oh,
doing like they have the same integrity as I did, and they're
mhm.
you know they have the same strategy with 100% airdrops and like things to incentivize people to want to join their team. And
Okay.
they also create how-to videos. So I just and like when I go to the crypto meetups that they have,
Yeah.
um, new people that ask me about crypto, I bring them with me to that, you know.
Okay.
But I do have my team is Inspired Finance. We do have a Telegram,
Mhm.
but it's been mainly just for my team. Like I mentioned, I
Mm.
haven't like I've been trying to spend more time away from the keyboard, and that's why I tried to you know teach other people to teach other people, you know. So
Yeah.
and that's why I lean on Crypto Unlimited 22, you know, because they're go getters. And you know, and there's a bunch of other go getters out there, you know. Just I know these two personally, and coming from starting in drip with I think I gave them 100 drip each to building their own teams and starting their own YouTube channel and writing Medium articles. I mean,
Hmm.
you know, some people shine, and for me, that was a blessing because I definitely don't. I care about people, but I've spent hundreds of hours showing people already. So now I
Hmm.
want to live life. You know,
Well, yeah,
I
you have to you're letting go and letting others. You know that's the sign of a great leader, right? That you teach others and they say we did it. You know, say it and you see them flow, which is unbelievable. So
absolutely.
yeah, so Brad, I enjoy this conversation. Thank you for who you are as a human being, as a spiritual being, as a crypto player and and we'll see you at the next ARC podcast, or
Absolutely.
I'll hear you in the next podcast.
Yeah, I know the schedule's changed, so I may be able to get it when I'm not working or whatnot. You know, that's also part
Okay,
of my routine. I usually listen to it when I'm driving or if I go for a walk. That's part of my excitement with all the new roadmap stuff going on. You know,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
it's definitely been a pleasure. I appreciate you inviting me.
Okay, and perhaps when you get to Florida down here to West Palm Beach, remember I'm in Stewart, so we can you know
Yeah,
maybe.
my buddy Ron
Uh,
is right up there too. So in May, the end of May, I'm coming up there for a Stevie Nicks concert. So maybe during that week, I'll be able to get dinner with you sometime.
okay, that sounds good. All right,
All right.
all right.
All
Have a
right.
good
Have a good
day.
one.
Happy day. Here, hold
Talk to
on.
you later.
Let me finish this.